Good afternoon. Let's get started with one activity. For that, you will need your most important gadget with you. So everybody is carrying phone. Okay. So take your phone out and take one selfie yourself, individual selfie. Once you are done, let me know. Everybody, one selfie. Once you are done, let me know. Done? Everybody done? You are ready? Okay. Just look at your picture once. Good one, right? So you have answered the most important question that will be raised from this session, that who is responsible for your career advancement? And the answer is in your hand, that is you yourself. So even if you grow to further heights, or even if you fail sometimes, who is responsible? Individual, ourself is responsible. So let's get started. I'm going to share some ideas and some examples. And in between, if you have any questions, just raise your hand and we will talk it through. Do you agree that the world is turbulent? Or for you it is not? And if it is turbulent, then can somebody share some example as to how it is turbulent? You are aware of the different parameters. So what is changing politically? Just give me whatever comes to your mind. What is changing politically? Local, national, global, whatever comes to your mind.
Conflict.
Sorry? Conflict, give some specific example, concrete example.
USA-China conflict.
Okay, USA-China conflict,
Taiwan conflict.
Taiwan conflict. What else? What else in terms of politics is troubling? Is changing a lot.
Current election results.
So what is different than what was the result last time?
Actually, some of the blogs are saying that we should move from unipolar world to multipolar world.
Okay.
That is the thing.
Okay. So just to give you a hint, we have a coalition government, right? Last 5 years, it was a complete majority. Is it a change?
Yes.
Okay. Any other political change you are aware of? What is happening in US? What is happening in Europe? You are not aware of any wars, anything?
Russia, Ukraine.
Okay. What else? Everybody who gives the right answer, I will gift you something. Thanks.
Even in Europe, Slovakia, the governments are changing. Even this France, Macron is going to lose. Their predictions are there.
Correct.
Biden is going to lose. Many of these NATO countries
Yeah.
who are against Russia, four out of them,
Okay.
are going to lose the elections.
Very good. What is happening different in terms of economy? What is changing? Are your expenses increasing, decreasing, constant? Okay. And compared to that, your income is increasing, decreasing. What's happening?
Stable.
It's stable. But what about inflation? Okay. So it is a good sign or not good sign? So it is a good sign. For some, it is a good sign, definitely. So, for example, if you want to buy a vehicle right now, so you are getting a lot of offers. Reason? They are not able to sell many vehicles. So you are getting a incentive for that. That is economics. Economics is nothing but rule of the household. The way you will run your house, similarly, just extrapolate the complexity and it will be your company, it will be your industry, it will be your country and so on. What is changing in terms of society? Biggest change, tell me biggest change.
There are 6 projects will become.
Sorry?
There are 6 projects will become. There are 6
There are 6.
projects will become.
Okay. What else? In terms of society, what are the changes?
Social media has a big maximum impact.
Social media has an impact. You are not telling me the biggest impact.
Sense of
sense of awareness increasing, decreasing.
One-to-one interaction is becoming.
One-to-one is missing. What else?
Western influences increasing.
Sorry?
Western influences increasing.
Western influence. I will give you one example. Attention span. And those who are teachers are nodding their head. Because attention span is increasing or decreasing? Decreasing. Tell me what happens in your meetings, what happens online. Okay? So the attention span is very less. Immediately after 2 minutes, if I am going to take any break for 2 seconds, what you will do? You will check your mobile. So that is why I gave you the first activity. So you are satisfied. Okay, so this is big social change which has not happened at all. Okay, next social change, and there are 100 different changes, those are happening, will be different, but in terms of what we buy, what we eat, how we travel, everything is changing. Next is technology, big impact.
Yes.
Okay, very big. Yeah. Has your job been affected by technology? Positively, negatively? Give me one example.
AI
ChatGPT.
AI, chat GPT. So give me example. Is it improved? Not? What actually happened?
I think after COVID, after COVID, the teams that were working physically have now been distributed. So everything is over. Like you require.
So it's more online.
Yeah, it's more
Okay.
online.
Any-
Now from a kid to a guy to anywhere professional,
Okay.
you need internet.
Okay. What else?
I stay on 8th floor.
Okay.
I press the lifts button.
Okay.
And it was not coming.
Hmm.
And slowly I started feeling irritated.
Hmm.
And then I suddenly realized that just before shifting here, I was staying in a 3-story building where every day I was to climb 3-story and come down 3-story. Now I've got something which is I can't. So I understood that I've lost. Patience is also decreasing due to technology. I used to climb up every day 10 times a day, and now the lift is just 1 minute or 2 minutes later, and I'm feeling. I realized that. Then I said that at least my generation, I have a comparison, and I stopped there. But the
Okay.
generation to come would not have that patience because they would not have something to relate with.
Okay. I thought there was some problem with the lift. Good observation.
Still chocolate बनता है.
You are not eligible for chocolate now.
Drone technology. It is used in
Drone.
agriculture.
Agriculture.
Means how much proportion of fertilizers, water should be. So that is the advantage. No waste of time. Even cultivable state of land will be more because in early days more fertilizer was used and the cultivation.
So big impact.
Positive impact.
Anybody from last rows? Yeah.
Technology has been a gift.
Okay.
It has drastically improved our speed, our efficiency, accuracy.
Okay.
Do our job better.
Tell me any AI tool that you use, because many said AI. Chat GPT. That's it. OpenAI. So OpenAI, I mean the company who developed. Sorry? Copilot you are using. Microsoft. Anything else? Adobe. Digital payments. Nothing? So yeah.
Even Volkswagen, they have used that AI robots and they are making their cars
Okay.
totally automated.
So I'll give you many ideas that you can also use, but just one example. How many of you are on LinkedIn? Almost everybody. There is a tool available wherein you can analyze your LinkedIn profile photo, and it will give you marks for your smile, for your teeth, for your eyes and everything. And if it is not up to the mark, you can change the photo, again evaluate that and move on. So AI has tools to a very specific level. So explore more tools. If you are not changing the technology, who will change you? Technology. So I'll give you two quick updates which some of you may be aware, some may not. Is when calculators are introduced, bank employees resisted the change. Calculators are not required. Do you know the reason? Okay. Again, when computers were introduced, same thing happened. But if you look at it, actually reverse happened. There are more bank branches today, more people working in banks. So whenever we resist, the technology persists. Okay. Next parameter is,
One meter.
yeah.
There is a AI University in Cursor, approved by IICT. It started in 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
There is a major breakthrough in AI.
Okay. So is there anybody actually teaching or it's all AI?
It has the website and everything. I have seen this AI University. It means they are giving means how the AI is used in commerce or in MBAs,
Okay.
fine arts, everything they are teaching them.
Do you think, yeah, thank you very
It is
much.
the first thing.
Do you think anything in terms of the legal aspects of our environment has changed?
Yes.
Okay, yes,
Yes. Due to the legal, actually, in that COVID, there is the first is the GDP is issue with our world, part of the world. After
Okay.
that, COVID-19 will become. That
Okay.
will be impacted on our careers and.
It will be impacted in over all of the careers and each and every environment.
okay,
And as well as who will be responsible for the particular positions, and he will be recognized in each and everything. But in that COVID-19 is still late.
So in some
job
organizations now, like if you opt for work from home, you will not get promotion. Or salary
Yes.
rise.
Yes, but
Yeah. So that is, I mean, one of the impact. Very true.
yes, yes. But still COVID to till it, there is a impacted it over job and career circumstance. Still career field is not working well. Because recession still is there. Because our economy, GDP economy is still going on to 3.0 only.
Okay.
That's still impacted.
Very good. Anybody else? Yes, legal, has
Thank
legal
you.
structure changed?
Labor laws have changed.
Labor laws have changed. Cyber threats have increased. Very good
They are
example. So
considering
at
AI.
individual level also and at organizational.
Many
level.
companies are taking now sustainability
Who is
goals.
speaking?
Sustainability
Okay.
goals.
Sustainability goals. Okay. Is it a change or you are saying something?
Data security.
Data security, big problem. How many of you got a mail from Google or Gmail saying that your password are all compromised?
EU has imposed tariffs on countries like India, China because of more of the carbon emissions or in manufacture of steel.
Yeah, because their job they have already done the emission.
Yes, now they
Now
are
they will
imposing
teach others.
everything. That is
Okay,
also
okay. In terms of now the environment, since you have brought up the change, what is happening?
Urbanization, the
Okay.
increase of urbanization.
Urbanization. Just the other day, I came to know that there is a startup which is creating T-shirts from waste plastic. I have just ordered it, but it is, I mean, the practical products we are getting. What else is changing for you in terms of environment? Is it raining outside? No? While going from here, if it rains, what will be your first thought? Traffic jam. Okay? Because the environment now, actually, at least in Pune, we can say that not normal rain. We always get, whenever it rains, it's a heavy downpour. And what happens? Drainages are blocked. Then the water is clogged on the road. Then there is a traffic. Okay. So environment, earlier we used to have lot of talks, debates, but we can actually see wherever we go in terms of heat, in terms of rain, in terms of wind, whatever it may be, and it's not only limited to Pune. You go outside Pune, anywhere in India, outside world also. For example, I heard that yesterday itself in East China there has been heavy downpour and lot of problems. So every day you will find that some or the other thing is happening which is changing in terms of environment. Just if you look at heat statistics, every year it is just going up. And also there are some different changes which are positive also. For example, now any new air conditioner that you buy, do you know what is the standard temperature being set to air conditioner? 24. Okay, so it was a good initiative where by default it starts with 24. The reason being, if you chill it below 24, what will happen? More electricity, and it is not help to either environment or to the grid also.
these public transport buses, they were earlier running on diesel, now they are running on
But
CNG,
yeah,
CNG.
and
even
battery ones,
electric ones.
electric ones also.
So that is a
Yeah.
positive change.
We now use metro also. How many of you use metro? Is it a good environment change?
Yes.
Okay, so these are all positive signs. Let's look at what else is happening in terms of employment scenario. Okay, how many of you are, by the way, looking for a job? Okay, how many of you are looking for a promotion and salary rise? Okay, so everybody is looking for salary rise, everybody is looking for a promotion. Are you sure that you are going to get it?
They are giving promotion, but we have to learn something.
Yeah.
We will fire some of the employees,
Okay.
then we will get promoted. And salary.
Every organization may have different experience as such. One observation, only 3-4 observations I'm going to share. Number one is that promotions are hard to come by, blocking entry level workers from even starting. These are news items, you will get it through Google. So it's not only promotion, the freshers are also not getting jobs. Am I right? Any fresher here without any work experience? Okay. Have you faced the scenario of not getting job? Or you have not applied? Okay, if you have not applied, you are happy. That's good sign. But those who have been freshers, they know how tough it is to at least get a first job and start your career. Very difficult. I remember I had I had got with job with a bank because of one sentence. So this bank had given a job advertisement saying that they want experienced, seasoned people for selling current accounts. And I'm telling you this story 20 years back. So still, I persisted. As a fresher, you are desperate. I want job. Whatever it, maybe I want to get started. So I had applied for the job. Somehow I scored good numbers in the written test, so they called me for a job interview. And I was almost sure that I'm not going to get a job. The interviewer made one mistake. He said that, Sachin, do you want to say something? Yes, I said, I want to say something. What is it? Sir, if you don't give opportunity to a fresher, how I will ever get an experience? And definitely he must have felt really bad for me and I got a job. So the idea is that not only what is happening around us, but what is our attitude, which will determine our attitude in terms of success. That is also very important. Second is item, average salary hike is around 8 to 11%, average salary hike. Any idea how much is inflation? So your salary hike is your matching your inflation, and some of you may also be aware of time value of money. Okay, so even if you get a raise, you are actually at par. And then what happens? The rate of increase of your expenses has nothing to do with your income. On their own, they are increasing. How many of you buy vegetables? Okay, prices going up or down? Up, always up. So inflation, there is no control. And third item, 88% professionals in India are considering new job in 2024. 84%. Either they want to change or they want to get a new job altogether. Are you in that percentage? Some of you are there, right? So what is missing in terms of this employment scenario? Do you think that if you apply to any company tomorrow, you will get a job quickly?
No.
Those who with experience also. What is your experience with job application? Is it easy? No?
The more you get experience, the lesser is the possibility to get the job fast.
Challenging it is.
Yeah.
Okay, and freshers always think that once I get experience, I'll get more jobs. But remember, it's easy to get another job when you are already employed. Don't leave your job and then apply for a new one. When you already have one, then only. Those who are in, how many of you are in HR, human resource? Do you agree? And you guys only change lot of jobs. That is also I have offered. Because you have more contacts.
Also give a good reason why you are changing the job.
Why you are changing the job, correct? Do you remember this image? What is this? Everybody knows, right? So many stories, Vikram Mehta, Akbar Birbal, so many stories are available with us. The biggest challenge that we face is that we are never taught to communicate in a powerful and very real person-like way. We are always artificial in nature. So, in terms of conversations also, the small talk, social talk that we make, how many of you are sitting next to somebody whom you are not aware of? You are meeting them for the first time. Raise your hand. Is any one of you is aware of who is sitting next to you? Tell me the name. met her for the first time? You work together. I'm asking, you haven't met anybody else? You met today? No. Anybody who is met today and now you know the name of the person sitting next to you?
Satish Kumar.
No, who is sitting next to you? That person should know Santosh name. Ah. Deepak, at least after I ask you a question, then you should quickly just pass it on. Quickly ask. But see, the way we are being born and brought up, we generally avoid talking to a stranger. Do you?
Yes.
Okay. Very few talkative people will quickly introduce themselves and then ask the name and things like that. Because as ma'am rightly said initially, networking is very important, and without that getting job, raises and promotions is literally very challenging. So, why stories? The stories is not only the case where we talk about either Ramayana or Mahabharata or ancient theories or some stories which are available in some book. Every individual sitting here is a story which is being untold. But sometimes you also try to tell story. Can you understand some unknown person with the help of any technology? What's happening in that person's life? I can. Social media, WhatsApp status. Earlier there was no technology available for me to understand the mood of my friends. Now I can check their status, I can check their social media, I can check 10 different things. Because we don't have a display saying that I am angry, I am happy, I am unsatisfied. Do you? So unless we communicate, the other person will not come to know. And that is why stories are very important. So I have told you one part where what is happening and why there is a big challenge and why probably many of you are also here is that there are not many things which are happening which are beyond our control. So what you can do about it, I am only going to share three things with you. First is story and rest two I will also share. So number one, whenever you throw any statistics, there can always be an argument with that. Okay? Do you know the percentage of people happy in this world? In India? Pune? Not aware? Whatever may be the number, do you care? I should be happy. Forget about others. And that is why statistics will always start with arguments. So another example, you are sitting in an interview situation and you have scored great marks. But when you are being asked question about something, about the industry in which that company works and you are not able to answer, what will happen? You are gold medalist out of the world. But in interview you cannot answer a basic question. What will happen? What interviewer will feel? Maybe lack of practical application, or maybe studious but not. Yeah?
Also not serious about the job he has come for.
Or not maybe street smart also. You can always tell interviewers that give me a minute, quickly take your mobile phone out and find out and give an answer. I can see all your options are available with us. But how many of you have your own life story ready with you? Very good, only one and half story is ready, 1.5. So whenever you are introducing yourself to somebody, you need not start with, there is always a format. My name is this, I am from this place, this is my percentage, this is my status, if bachelor, then they are more interested, married, unmarried and all that. Okay? And we always stick to that template, which we need not. Okay? Do you know any one story about me? No? At least one story about me?
We just heard
Introduction. I have just narrated one story to you. You forgot? Okay, don't follow FIFO method. First in, first out. So remember, we have how many years? Yes. How many years? Last row? 2. Mouth? Do we use it proportionately? we talk more and listen less. So be attentive. I'm going to test your presence. Okay, second, information informs, but decisions come from somewhere else. Do you agree? Okay, and these can be a number of decisions. For example, whether to attend today's event or not. How many of you had a choice? I mean, it was not compulsory to you. Choice? Okay, why you decided to come over here?
To have a different experience.
To have a different
Share
experience.
something what we know.
Okay, what else?
Curiosity.
Sorry?
Curiosity.
Curiosity. Okay, what? Networking. Very good.
Wanted to see this stuff.
Wanted to see the campus. Very good. Is it making sense? So information, all details will be available on website, right? But always information may not help you to take decisions. Whether you are selecting an organization to work with, or your organization is selecting you to work with, and vice versa. Third, our beliefs will actually define our behavior and nothing else. So if you believe that say for example a value like respect, then you will respect yourself and you will respect others also. If you believe that time is money, you will always come on time or before time. Okay. So all these are our beliefs, and we are driven by our beliefs. And then in corporate language we will get into vision, mission, and all that. That comes from our beliefs, and many times the organization's beliefs. So that also comes from a story. I will give you a story. You tell me the person if you can identify. This person was traveling, and when talking with one intellectual, another person, he identified an opportunity to create one big university in India. Anybody can think of, or you want some hints? So this person, both of them were traveling abroad. One was a spiritual guru, and one was business mogul. Not Sundar Pichai.
Oyo?
Sorry?
Oyo founder?
No. University. I'll give you more hints. The university now is in Bengaluru. No.
Microsoft.
Correct. Right answer. IISc. Just pass it on. So IISc is basically Indian Institute of Science. So J.R.D. Tata was traveling along with, you know the person? Swami Vivekananda. And then through their discussion identified that they have to create some kind of a science university for India, within India. And then later on things, just so happened that Raja of Mysore actually gave the place, British agreed to set up the university. So are you able to see that how one story can change life? And IISc, Indian Institute of Science, is ranked higher than IITs and IIMs. Okay, but the beginning was one short story or interaction. Yes.
सर मी मिस केलं ते स्वामी विवेकानंद कोण ट्रॅव्हल करत होतं?
Tata. Okay. So this is again driven by the belief that I want to develop my nation. What can I do? That was the belief. So experience, your experience or my experience is always personal. Same event happening right now, you may be experiencing something else and I may be experiencing something else. So whenever we want to develop ourselves as a professional, our experiences will define who we are. And your experiences should be converted in a story for that to happen. Making sense? And last point on story line is, story around the numbers is what makes data relevant. Okay, so many are sitting over here who may have written research papers, surveys and so on. If there is no story to your survey or your data, do you think that the reader is going to read it at length? They may probably just look at the numbers, the results and conclusions, but they may not look at in the depth. But let's say if they look at the survey also and they look at the story also, what will happen? They can make a more better judgment. I'll give you an example. one of my client wanted to start star hotel in Pune. Okay, and we were discussing that what can be different areas in Pune where they can get started with this hotel. So I told him that based on some rudimentary information that we have, we should not take a decision. So I told him we'll do a survey, and after that you take a decision. So we shortlisted 5 areas in Pune where can this hotel can be built and things like that. I conducted a survey where I identified the average room occupancy rate, I identified the room rates, what kind of customers are coming there, are they coming for leisure, are they coming for business or things like that. Entire data was given to a client, and then client decided not to start the hotel in Pune. This story I'm telling you around maybe 14, 15 years back. So this is an infrastructure company, but also wanted to get into hotel business. And then the discussion that we had, the nuggets of the story is that based on the data available and the opportunity available, which is for future, the client identified that there is too much of competition. And to sustain that much of competition, it's a very capital intensive business. Is going to be very difficult. Are you able to understand now data and the story? So even if you have got great marks, great achievements, if you are not able to convert it into a story, you are always going to get trouble in terms of interviews, discussions, or meetings also for that matter. You want to pitch a new product idea, people will not listen to you. Do you agree? Okay, let's move. What's next? Next one is skill. First recommendation I give you is story. Second I am giving you is skill, because I believe skills will pay your bills. So if you have more bills, what you have to do? Increase your skills. As simple as that. So if we look at the way we develop our skills over the years, initially we identify numbers, we identify the language, very basic. After that we develop our attitude. Just look at 1 or 2 year young kid. Okay, initially very happy, easy to understand, easy to interact, great. After certain time they develop their attitude. When you give them something that they don't like, what happens? They refuse. So all this we develop, emotions are developed, then we develop relationships, friendships with our parents and things like that. Then the information age comes. And that's why we say that, oh no, all my friends are going to this particular coaching class, I am also going to, because now we have information, so that gets added. After that, information is communication. Then we become expert that if my mother is angry, I go to my father and things like that. So we start developing this communication in a very powerful way. After that, you are starting with your college or education. Then you also start with problem solving. What to do? Okay, so if I'm not able to study, I get hang of smart student, I take notes and do this and that. So you start applying your mind. After that, some get into jobs, some get into their own business, entrepreneurship and whatnot. Then slowly you understand how people behave and develop some or the other kind of specialized cognitive abilities. And the top level is you develop some or the other technical expertise in whatever domain that you work with, whether it's a bank or IT company or manufacturing organization. Once you will start developing these skills, all these skills are have some of the other technology tool available, that is digital tool available to us. Do you agree? To all these skills. Okay, you can learn on your own. Very big universities there, YouTube. Okay, so many kids will actually learn something or the other through these platforms available. So it is not necessary that what kind of a skill that you want, but what is your approach in developing that skill to a next level. Say for example, management is also a skill and it's not only a degree. So many ask me that what will happen if I do my MBA. So it is not a vehicle that you buy and then show off saying that I have MBA, I have MBA, I have MBA. How you apply that degree to your day-to-day work, and if that works, then you have really done your education in management. Okay. So developing your skill. First recommendation was to develop stories and storytelling skills or writing, whatever you may want to call it. Second is skill, and there is third, network. Why network? Just one statistics I will share, that traditional networking. So most ways to find effective jobs is 46%. Biggest is networking. I know that while leaving, many of you now are going to introduce yourself to others, right? Because 46%. And just look, the internet and the consultancies or direct approach or newspaper, the number goes down. The reason being, do you know the reason for this? Because somebody whom we know is going to tell us something, we believe that person more than someone not telling me that, give me a job, give me a job, give me a job. Are you with me? So networking is very important, and three things you have to remember in networking. Number one is visibility. Are you visible to the right people you want to work with? Second is credibility. Are you credible for that work? So do you have, what skills or whatever else that is required? In many organizations, for every skill there is a certification is required. So do you have that certification? And third is automatically comes is that is profitability. So you profit from that interaction, visibility, credibility, and profitability. That is in terms of networking. I'm going to conclude with 5 important P's. Okay, number 1 is prayer. Because whatever you do, many times a time will come that nothing will happen. How many of you have experienced that? You have taken all the efforts, but something or the other is not happening. Have you experienced? What is most useful at that point of time is prayer. And correct. So priorities. We should know what are our priorities in life and do everything around those priorities. If your priority is going for a movie, go to that movie. If your priority is to come for this interaction, come here. Third, peace. Because everywhere, you just open the newspaper in the morning and what happens? And every day we think that, tomorrow I am not going to read news. And what we do again is habit. But all of us, do you agree that we want peace? Okay. Fourth is positivity. Why? Because world is full of negative people. Very few people are positive. They have positive attitude. They will always tell you solution. Many, if you tell them a problem, they will actually add to your problem. I'm not getting job. Same here. My spouse is not listening to me. Same here. I did not like today's lunch. Same here. But very few people will be positive in nature. So positivity also you have to build over a period of time. And fifth, very important, is patience. Because more digital tools, more technology, more use of mobile, our patience levels are decreasing. We are becoming impatient. So we have to develop that patience level and get further in our life. So I'm going to conclude here. Thank you very much. Anybody has any questions? We can have little bit of question and answer. Anybody wants this presentation? You can, scan the QR code, send me WhatsApp or email. Any questions? Can we give him mic?
Traditional networking that you mentioned.
Yeah.
Majority of the problem that the younger generation or nearly closely Gen Z face is what are the icebreakers to use? Your experience, what would you suggest? How to break the ice basically, the first initial interaction?
With youngsters.
To everybody. In that traditional networking, such an event like this, younger generation feels no ice breaking opportunities.
Okay, no, you are not able to say talk with somebody who is older than you.
No, I'm saying that how do you make the first interaction?
Okay, okay. Introduce yourself. Tell your name, what you do, and ask other person simply, what's their name, what they do. As simple as that. I'll give you, like you mentioned, youngsters. So many of my nephew and this Instagram friendly generation. So I tell them that this is my Instagram account. You follow yourself from my account. Then I interact with them. Then they are happy on Instagram message, but not talking in person. So with the different kind of gender also you have to talk differently. With different kind of age group also you have to talk differently. And ability to listen also, that is very important. Because many people will then, once you give them opportunity, they'll continuously talk about themselves but will not ask you that, how are you or what you do. Yeah. Any other question?
Sir, I have a question. Actually, see, COVID took in like I'm not stable in my job. So, what I need to do? Because what
Maybe
happened, I
it-
dropped
yeah.
my project as
Hmm.
IT manager.
Okay.
But that will be coming only short term basis.
Okay. Maybe it's a good question for offline, but generic answer I will try to give you is in terms of communicating
Even
your
though,
group.
sir, I got the two opportunity currently. But after that, due to the lockdown, that we
Okay, just generic say one or two suggestions I will quickly give you. Number one is improve your communication in terms of display who you are as a person. And if I want to increase my display as a who or what kind of a person I am, then the first step or first activity that all of you should do is Google with your name and find out what comes on internet about you. If there is nothing coming, then you haven't taken efforts. If something is coming but irrelevant, you have not taken efforts. If something is coming and it is relevant also, you have taken efforts. So, like that, we talk about LinkedIn, we talk about networking, so you will have to work on these 2, 3 things. But it's better that we take that question offline. So, we'll talk. Any other question? Is this QR code working?
Yes.
Okay, for some it's working. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. When any session is interesting, I think what we are doing first is we are keeping aside a technology in our hand.